everyone and welcome, my name is Thundernumel and I welcome you to the channel. In today's video we'll be going over the SCARECLAW archetype. As always, first we'll go over the card by card, then we'll go over some combos and finally I'll give you the deck list. Even though the deck has 11 cards so far, I don't believe that it's fully fleshed out yet. And I do firmly believe that it's better off played as an engine in another more competent deck. That's why in today's video we'll be covering SCARECLAW Branded Tri-Brigade. If you are already familiar with the SCARECLAW archetype, feel free to skip around to the combos. But with that being said, let's go over the cards. First of all, we have SCARECLAW Acroa, a level 3 Earth Beast effect monster with 0 attack and 2000 defense and the following effect. You can special summon this card from your hand to the main monster zone in the column of a SCARECLAW monster you control or its adjacent columns. You can only special summon SCARECLAW Acroa once per turn this way. Your SCARECLAW monsters in the extra monster zone gain 300 attack for each defense position monster you control. With this monster we see the main theme of the deck, which is that they special summon themselves when you control another SCARECLAW monster, and that they all boost SCARECLAW monsters in the extra monster zone with different effects. Since all of their boosting effects are related to battle, they seem to be a more watered down version of the Crusade archetype. You're supposed to summon a bunch of them, link them into their boss monster and then bring them back to grant it more effects in order to OTK easily. But keep in mind that this deck isn't a one-trick pony like Crusade is, so let's move on to SCARECLAW Astra, a level 3 Earth Beast effect monster with 0 attack and 1300 defense and the following effect. You can special summon this card from your hand to your main monster zone in the column of a SCARECLAW monster you control or its adjacent columns. You can only special summon SCARECLAW Astra once per turn this way. While you control a defense position SCARECLAW monster, your SCARECLAW monsters in the extra monster zone can attack a number of times each battle phase up to the number of your defense position SCARECLAW monsters with different names. Another one of the SCARECLAW gimmicks is the defense position gimmick. Most of their cards interact with the monsters in defense position. So if you have their Link monster, Astra and another SCARECLAW in defense, your Link monster can attack twice. It's pretty easy to swarm your field with SCARECLAWs and it's not too hard to OTK from there. And another card that can help you OTK is SCARECLAW Veronia, a level 3 Earth Beast effect monster with 0 attack and 1700 defense. Its effect reads: you can special summon this card from your hand to your main monster zone in the column of a SCARECLAW monster you control or its adjacent columns. You can only special summon SCARECLAW Veronia once per turn this way. If your SCARECLAW monster in the extra monster zone attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. So basically, if you have all three of your SCARECLAWs in defense position and the Link monster, your Link monster will gain 900 attack points, it will be able to attack 3 times and it will do piercing damage. So far those three were nothing to write home about, but then we have SCARECLAW Reinhardt, a level 4 Dark Warrior effect monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense, and the following effect. You can special summon this card from your hand to your main monster zone in the column of a SCARECLAW monster you control or its adjacent columns. You can only special summon SCARECLAW Reinhardt once per turn this way. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one SCARECLAW spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Then, if 3 or more defense position monsters are on the field, you can draw one card. You can only use this effect of SCARECLAW Reinhardt once per turn. And here we have it, this card is basically Engage. If you have 2 defense position monsters when you special summon this card in defense position, you'll be able to search any SCARECLAW spell or trap card and then you'll draw an additional card. Also, if you want to play SCARECLAWs pure, Reinhardt is probably the best one to normal summon. But since we're talking about SCARECLAWs, I feel like the Visas equals Starfrost is another card that we need to talk about. It synergizes incredibly well with Reinhardt, and it's a level 6 light warrior tuner effect monster with 2100 attack and 1500 defense. Its effect reads: if this card is in your hand, you can target one face-up monster you control with a different type and attribute from this card, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card. You can only use this effect of Visas equals Starfrost once per turn. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can make this card gain attack equal to half of the destroyed monster's original attack or defense, whichever one is higher. You can destroy any of your SCARECLAWs to special summon it, and because it's a level 6 tuner, you can synchro summon with it and Reinhardt in order to go into a level 10 synchro. And it also doesn't hurt that it's searchable by their field spell. So I'll just go out of the order and talk about the field spell next. Lyphobia the Vantonin Willful World of Desire is a field spell with the following effect. When this card resolves, you can add one SCARECLAW monster or one Visas equals Starfrost from your deck to your hand. Monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack and defense for each defense position monster on the field. field. If there are 3 or more defense position monsters on the field, you can target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. You can only use this effect of Liphobia, the Wanton and Willful World of Desire once per turn. You can only activate one Liphobia, the Wanton and Willful World of Desire once per turn. God, I hope that Konami changes this name in TCG. But anyways, this card can search any of your monsters, and it also gives you a targeting destruction, which is pretty neat. Depending on what you might need at any particular point, you can just pick it up from your deck because they have a Link 1 that searches this card. Speaking of, we have SCARECLAW Lichtheart, a Link 1 Dark Beast Warrior monster with 500 attack and a left pointing arrow. It requires one SCARECLAW monster or one Visas equals Starfrost, and it has the following effect. If you Link summon this card, the material must be in your main monster zone. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per duel. First, if this card is Link summoned to the extra monster zone, you can add one Liphobia, the Wanton and Willful World of Desire from your deck to your hand. And second, if you control Visas equals Starfrost, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. Even though you can special summon it to your field only once per duel, the fact that it's a free Beast Warrior body really helps out the deck a lot. And it also searches you your field spell, which searches you any other SCARECLAW monster, so the deck is pretty consistent. Finally, let's talk about their big boss monster. SCARECLAW Tri-Heart is a Link 3 Dark Beast Warrior monster with 3000 attack and bottom left, bottom middle and bottom right link arrows. It requires 3 effect monsters and has the following effect. Must be Link summoned. All face-up monsters on the field are changed to defense position, unaffected by the effects from any defense position monsters. Once per turn, if this card is in the extra monster zone, you can target one level 3 SCARECLAW monster in your graveyard. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except SCARECLAW monsters. Also, special summon the targeted monster, and if you do, add one SCARECLAW monster from your deck to your hand. With this monster, there's a couple of things to unpack. First of all, it has to be Link summoned, which means that you cannot cheat it out with your Tri-Brigades. Secondly, it changes all monsters on the field to defense position, which means that only Link monsters are not affected by this effect. This also means that all of your main deck SCARECLAWs will have to stay in defense position. And because it's unaffected by the activated effects of all monsters in defense position, continuous effects of defense position monsters will apply to it. Its protection effect isn't that amazing considering the fact that everyone and their mother is running Nightmare Unicorn and Access Code Talkers in their extra decks. And even though its final effect is reinforcements of the army and Monster Reborn in the same effect, it does lock you into SCARECLAWs, and I don't think that that's good enough. You could basically just summon a bunch of SCARECLAWs and go into an Appaloosa, which would give you more interaction on your opponent's turn. But without further ado, let's talk about their spell cards, and first of all we have to talk about SCARECLAW Nova, a normal spell card with the following effect. Target one SCARECLAW monster or one Visas equals Starfrost in your graveyard. Special summon it in defense position. If a SCARECLAW Link monster you control would be destroyed by battle or a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. You can only use this effect of SCARECLAW Nova once per turn. So this is a Monster Reborn, searchable by Tri-Heart, and it also gives you a Bailing sort of protection effect. So let me show you the one card combo that you can do with this deck. You only need the Tri-Heart for this. So you would normal summon the Tri-Heart. Using the effect of Tri-Heart, you would grab the Nova. Then you can link away the Tri-Heart into the Lichtheart. Using the effect of Lichtheart, you can grab the Liphobia. And then finally, using the Liphobia, you can grab the Starfrost. Then you can tribute the Lichtheart to special summon the Starfrost. And then you can even special summon the Lichtheart, even though it's once per duel, you get the extra body, it doesn't matter, you don't have to do that part. But then you can activate the Nova to bring back the Tri-Heart, and then finally you can sync with the Tri-Heart and the Starfrost to go into your Baron de Fleur. This is a pretty simple one card combo, but it goes even further than that. For this combo you will need a normal summonable monster that's not a light nor a warrior. In this case we'll be using Alistair because it's the most recognizable one, and you'll need the Visas equals Starfrost. So what you would do is normal summon your monster, in this case we'll use Alistair and we'll pick up the invocation. Next you can tribute the Alistair to summon the Visas, then you can link the Visas into the Lichtheart, Lichtheart can pick you up the Liphobia. From there on out you can activate the Liphobia, add back the Tri-Heart. Because we have the Lichtheart, we can special summon the Tri-Heart to any of these 3 zones, we'll summon it there, doesn't matter. Using the effect of Tri-Heart, we'll pick up the Nova. Then we can finally activate the Nova, bring back the Starfrost. And then we can synchro with the Starfrost and the Tri-Heart to go into Baron. And finally we can even use Evocation, banishing the Starfrost and the Alistair to go for Mechaba. And pick back up the Alistair with the invocation. So yeah, this works in pretty much any deck, but you just need to figure out where to use it. And basically the Starfrost engine, I could see it being used in many different decks depending on whether or not the adventure package gets hit on the ban list. It's not as versatile as the Brave package, but it's pretty neat. Without further ado, let's get back into the card by card. Next up we have SCARECLAW Alternative, a normal trap with the following effect. Tribute 3 SCARECLAW monsters. Your opponent can only special summon monsters in defense position for the rest of this turn. During your turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard, inflict 100 damage to your opponent for each defense position monster on the field. You can only use this effect of SCARECLAW Alternative once per turn. This card is basically a combined version of Threatening Roar and a Dimensional Barrier for Links. Since Link monsters cannot be special summoned in defense position, that means that your opponent won't be able to Link summon at all. And because all of their monsters will be in defense position, they will not be able to hurt your Link tree. But this does not, however, prevent your opponent from just using spells or traps to get rid of your entire board. And it really does not help that you have to go -4 in order to resolve your alternative. But even so, I'll show you how to do the combo anyways. And for this one, you'll need any 3 main deck monsters with different names, as long as one of them is either Starfrost or Reinhardt. So in this scenario, we'll normal summon for instance a Croa, go into the Lichtheart will get you your Lifobia, then we'll activate the Lifobia and we'll add Reinhardt. From here we can special summon the Reinhardt to add the alternative, and we can special summon the other SCARECLAW, it doesn't matter, we'll tribute the Lichtheart to special summon the Starfrost and bring back the Lichtheart. Here we will link away the Lichtheart, the Starfrost and whatever else to go into a Tri-Heart. And finally we can use the effect of Tri-Heart to bring back one of them from the graveyard and search another one from the deck. And finally we'll special summon the final one and set the alternative. And in this scenario, when our opponent's turn starts, we can tribute all of our main deck monsters to resolve the alternative. And our Tri-Heart is protected by all of the monsters, they won't be able to attack you, they won't be able to go into Link summons. But then again, this is not the greatest thing in the world, because they can still probably set up their board in any way they like. But theoretically, on your following turn, you can use the Tri-Heart, special summon one from the graveyard, search another Reinhardt from the deck, then use the effect of Reinhardt, for instance, special summoning it, then using its effect to search the spell. And then you can use the spell to bring back something from the graveyard, and then you can use the effects, the continuous effects of your SCARECLAWs in order to buff your Tri-Heart and try to go for game that way. But then again, I'm not sure that this is the way to go with the deck, so let's continue with the card by card. And finally we have their only piece of interruption, SCARECLAW's Clash, a continuous trap with the following effect. Once per turn you can target one SCARECLAW monster or one Wisest equal Starfrost you control. This turn it can attack while in face-up defense position. If it does, apply its attack or defense, whichever is higher, for damage calculation. When your opponent activates a card or effect while you control a SCARECLAW monster in the extra monster zone, you can send this face-up card from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard, negate that effect. You can only use this effect of SCARECLAW's Clash once per turn. And that's basically the reason why I feel like SCARECLAWs shouldn't be played pure. Even though they are pretty strong going second, going first you can only set up one interruption, and even though it's an omni-negate, it's not enough to stop your opponent from playing the game. And I guess theoretically you can set up Clash and Alternative at the same time, but in that case you're probably playing 6 trap cards in your OTK deck, and the board you're setting up isn't anything to write home about. The effect that allows your SCARECLAWs to attack while in defense position is pretty nice, but you have to send Clash to the graveyard in order to negate with it, which in turn means that you will not have its effect on the follow-up in order to help you OTK. And this in turn brings me to the conclusion that SCARECLAWs so far can be played as an extremely good engine in Tri-Brigades. And let me show you the combos! Now, this particular combo has many ways of ending up with different boards, but in this instance we'll use a Rescue Cat, and this Nibiru here just symbolizes that we have more cards in the hand, because I'll be discarding some, but we'll get the advantage back anyways. So we'll normal summon the Rescue Cat using the effect of Rescue Cat, we'll special summon Kit, and literally any SCARECLAW that's a level 3, it doesn't really matter. We'll use the level 3 SCARECLAW to go into the Lichtheart, then using the effect of Lichtheart we'll pick up the Lifobia, then using the effect of Lifobia we'll pick up the Starfrost. From here we can tribute the Lichtheart to special summon the Starfrost, then using the effect of Lichtheart we can special summon it back. And then finally we can link away the Lichtheart and the Kit to go into a Ferrigid, because Lichtheart is a beast warrior. Next we can use the effect of Kit to send the Nerval. and then the Nerval can search us a fractal. Here we can use the effect of Ferrigid, special summon the fractal, then using the effect of fractal we can banish 4 to special summon our Shoerig. Because we can no longer link away our Starfrost, we can use it as a synchro material, so we can go into Baron. And then we can link away the Shoerig and the Ferrigid to go into our Bearbram. Here you can use the effect of Ferrigid to mulligan if you want to put something back into your deck, it doesn't really matter. And we'll use the effect of Shoerig to search for our Mercurier. Next we can use the effect of Bearbram, discarding the Nibiru and the Mercurier to special summon literally any Tri-Brigade that's banished. And then we can use the effect of Kit here, in this instance, to banish the Mercurier. Now you can summon any link monster you want, but for this example I'll just use another Licht card. And then we can use the effect of Mercurier here, because it was banished, we can search an Albion. From here we can use the effect of Albion, because it's in our hand. We'll be able to send Branded Sword to the graveyard, and because we are putting back the Albion from our hand on the bottom of the deck, we'll be able to draw a card. Then we can finally banish the Branded Sword to add back the Mercurier, so basically our hand is back where it started, and then we can link away the Licht card, the Kit, and the Bearbram for an Appaloosa. So we have 3 negates here, and we can use the effect of Bearbram to search for our Revolt. And we can put back, let's say, Mercurier on the bottom of the deck. So we have 3 negates from Appaloosa, 1 from Baron, and we have a Revolt. Moving on to the next one. As always, the best combo is Chainlink 1, like Chainlink 2, subscribe, thank you! This is basically the same hand as before, but in this example we'll be using a level 3 Scareclaw and Transmodify to summon out the Rescue Cat. The board will be different than the previous board, but you can make either or of these boards with either or of these hands. So, we'll normal summon the Scareclaw, then link it away into a Licht card. Using the effect of Licht card, we'll add a Liphobia. Next, using the effect of Liphobia here, we can search a Reinhardt, then we can special summon the Reinhardt, and using its effect we can grab a Nova. We can then use the effect of Nova, special summoning back the Scareclaw from the graveyard, then using the effect of Transmodify we can tribute it to summon out a Rescue Cat. Using the effect of Rescue Cat, same as before, we'll summon any of our Scareclaws and a Kit. And then we can link away the Kit and the Lichtheart to go into a Ferrigid. And then using the effect of Kit we can send a Nerval. And using the effect of Nerval we can add a Keras. From here we can use the effect of Ferrigid to special summon the Fractal. And then here it's important that you do this before you use the effect of Fractal, because Reinhardt is a warrior. We'll link away these 3 to go into our Appaloosa. So you wouldn't be able to do that afterwards, because you'll only be able to use Beast Warrior or Winged Beasts to link summon after you use the effect of Fractal. From here on out we can use the effect of Fractal, we'll banish 4. The only thing important here is that we banish one of the Tri-Brigades. We'll go for Shoerig, then we can link away the Shoerig and the Fractal to go into our Bearbram. And then using the effect of Shoerig we can add a Mercurier. From here we can use the effect of Bearbram, we can discard the Mercurier and whatever else we had in our hand. We could have also mulliganed this Nibiru with our Ferrigid, but I see no point in doing that. Let's say we summon a Nerval. From here we can use the effect of Nerval. Here you can banish however many you want. For this example I'll just do 1, because the only one important is the Mercurier. So we'll banish the Mercurier, go into a Lichtheart. Then we can use the effect of Mercurier, because it was banished, we can search an Albion. Then using the effect of Albion we can send a trap to the graveyard. We'll be sending Branded Sword, so Albion goes to the bottom of the deck and we get to draw an extra card. And then we can banish the Branded Sword to add back the Mercurier to our hand. And then finally from here we can link away the Lichtheart and the Nerval to go into our Verte Anaconda. And then using the effect of Verte Anaconda we can send Branded Fusion to the graveyard and a Fallen of Albaz. And we can fuse with it and the Bearbram to go into our Mirror Jade. Now the effect of Bearbram here will finally trigger and we can search our Revolt. And then we'll put back whichever card we don't need onto the bottom of the deck. So in this instance we have 3 negates from Appaloosa, an extra negate from Mercurier. We also have a banish from Mirror Jade, and we'll be sending the Brigand the Glory Dragon, so that will give us an extra fractal on our following turn. And also, when you are resolving the Revolt, it's important that you summon back the Ferrigid, because we only have 3 zones, So for instance, when you resolve your revolt, we'll use Ferrigite, and then Nerval, and then whatever else you feel like summoning, let's say Fractal, whatever. So because we have a Link 2 and 2 other monsters, we can go into our Shurei, we'll get the Search off of Nerval, we'll get to Banish off of Shurei, and we'll also get the Mulligan off of Ferrigite, and we have enough zones to do all of that. Let's get into the next one. Now let's say you didn't open any Tri-Brigades and you cannot go into your Tri-Brigades plays, but you have like some Scarecrows in your hand. You can still play with these. It's just that bit different. So in this case, we'll normal summon our Scareclaw, go into the Lichtheart. Using the effect of Lichtheart, we can grab a Lithophobia from the deck. Then using the effect of Lithophobia, we'll pick up, in this instance, Starfrost. Using the effect of Starfrost, we can tribute the Lichtheart to summon it. Then the Lichtheart can special summon itself from the graveyard, and we can special summon the Reichheart. Using the effect of Reichheart here, we can grab the Nova. Unfortunately, we are one monster off of drawing an additional card, but what can you do? Now we can go into a Baron, and then we can use the effect of Nova, bring literally anything back, it doesn't really matter. Linking these two away into a Verte. And then finally we can use the effect of Verte to send the Branded Fusion to the graveyard, and also we'll send the Albaz, and we'll fuse Albaz with the Verte Anaconda to go into our Mirror Jade. So we have all of these hand traps, which are whatever, these are bricks basically. We have a negate from Baron, and also we have a banish from Mirror Jade. Now when we do banish from Mirror Jade, we'll send the Brigand the Glory Dragon, so in the end phase we'll be assured to get the Fractal to our hand, which basically means that we are guaranteed to have a follow-up play. Here's a quick combo that you can do using one of your beasts, Scareclaws and a Fractal. So we can use Fractal here to send a Nerval and add another Fractal off of the Nerval. And then we can normal summon the Scareclaw, go into the Lichtheart, add the Lithophobia, same as before basically. Activating the Lithophobia, we can go for the Reichheart, and then special summoning the Reichheart, we can add a Nova. Next we can use the Nova to bring back our Scareclaw from the graveyard, and then we can link these two away to go into a Ferrigite. Using the effect of Ferrigite, we can special summon the Fractal, then using the effect of Fractal, we can banish all 4 of our monsters from the graveyard to go into a Shurei. Now we can overlay these two to go into our Abyss Dweller, and then we can link away the Shurei and the Ferrigite to go into our Bearbrum. Next, using the effect of Ferrigite, you can mulligan here, and using the effect of Shurei, as always, we'll grab Mercurier. Now using the effect of Bearbrum, we'll discard the Mercurier and another card to special summon back the Nerval, and then we can use the effect of Nerval, banishing only the Mercurier to go into our Lichtheart. Then we can activate the effect of Mercurier to pick up the Albion, and then using the effect of Albion, we can send the Branded Sword to the graveyard to put it onto the bottom of the deck. So here we get to draw an additional card, which evens out the card that we discarded. And then we can banish the Branded Sword to add back the Mercurier to our hand. And finally, after that, we can link away these two to go into our Verte. And we can use the effect of Verte to send the Branded Fusion and the Fallen of Albaz to fuse with our Bearbrum to summon a Mirror Jade. And then using the effect of Bearbrum, we'll be able to add the Revolt to our hand, and we also put a card from our hand back into the graveyard. So here we once again have a Mirror Jade, we have a Tri-Brigade negate, and we have a Dweller to lock out our opponent's graveyard. Since not many of you really want to watch me ramble about my card choices, I'll just be very brief with the deck profile. These 5 cards are basically the ones that you want to use for your branded engine. You don't need to run more than these. You could consider running double Branded Fusion and make some changes to the extra deck, but that's basically the gist. We are running 9 hand traps. You can cut down on the number of Scareclaws to include more. The number of Tri-Brigades is pretty much fair. You can consider including more of them. And you can also consider running Foolish Burial to send your Nervals to get the searches, but I think it's pretty consistent as is. And even if you don't draw it, you still almost always have the combo ready. Only double Lithophobia, you don't really need more unless you want to run triple Lichtheart. And I opted to run double Nova instead of the trap card because it doesn't really come up very often, because Apollousa is almost always better going first than the Trickheart. However, Trickheart is pretty good at OTKing your opponent. In the extra deck we are running 1 Brigand and 1 Mirror Jade. You could opt to run other fusions, but I feel like this is pretty much the most bare bones that it gets. 1 Baron just to stop our opponent from using their hand traps if we get the chance to use the Starfrost. 1 Xyz monster, you can consider running a Baguska, but then you would negate your own fusion. Or you can also run Levier, because you can make it with double SCARECLAWs, and then you can bring back one of your banished Tri-Brigades in order to push for more damage. So this is basically your XC spot. You can run whatever you like here. One double Dragon Lords, one Appaloosa, one Verte, only double Lichtheart. I don't feel like you need more than 2 in the grind game. One Tri-Heart, honestly you don't have to play this, I just feel like it's a really neat option to OTK our opponent. But you could also opt to run like Rugal to summon out with your Tri-Brigades and then go for access code OTK, and that pretty much works exactly the same. One Bear Bram, double Ferrijit, and double Shurek. This is just to have some better grind game. And for the extra deck, you could consider running a Gamma, because you are running a Rescue Cat and this can prevent your Rescue Cat from getting gashed, but I really don't think that it's amazing. Yeah, I guess you could also prevent your Fractals and Tankies from being negated by Ash, but it's your choice, you can run whatever you want. You can consider running triple Starfrost in the deck just to see your Baron more often, but sometimes it does conflict with your Tri-Brigades, because you could have a Lichtheart in the extra monster zone left over when you make your Baron, and that could be a problem, because you will not be able to banish from the graveyard to special summon a Link into your extra monster zone, and this is pointing to the right, so you know, you test out the deck and see what works for you. Also, you could consider running triple Transmodify just in order to see your Rescue Cat more often. I opted not to, but it's a pretty good card depending on whether or not your Rescue Cat is safe from Ash or not. And also, if you really want to end on your Tri-Heart, you can consider running one Splash instead of Nova, just to have an extra negate, but more often than not, Appaloosa is just better. And that's it for this video. If you would like to watch more deck profiles and guides, check out my Melfi guide. I'll see you there, bye!